Hello, I'm Dave Mowitz, and welcome to Successful Farming. On today's program, I follow the bidding on a late model John Deere 8320R. Then we feature a great farmer service truck on All Around the Farm. The Shark farmer, Rob Sharkey, is back with his unique perspective on agriculture. And after these brief messages, we hear from our product test team of evaluators. So please stay tuned. The latest addition to Milwaukee's tool storage line is the ultimate Jobsite Backpack, and I sent this out to Gerald Joseph, Hampton, Nebraska, to give it an evaluation. Now, I know you're a little prone to like Milwaukee tools. You've evaluated a few for us before, but this is a little bit different deal, and it was really made for the contracting trade, putting buildings up and so on and so forth. It's made out of 1680D ballistic materials, got metal zippers, and it's a bit heavy. So you packed it with tools. What'd you think of it?
Well, it's a typical Milwaukee piece. It's made extremely well. Got pockets everywhere. Any kind of tool you want to put in there, there's a place for it. So and it's very well made, like all their stuff. So
this has, let me see, 40 pockets for tools, and then they said 2 hard side, which is this in the front. So how did you pack it for your use? Well,
I got some nice Milwaukee tools, and there was plenty of pouches to put the stuff in, yeah, and room for more, by all means. And there's pockets and pouches, wow, you know, just everywhere.
Now in the front though, these, what they call the hard backed pockets, this is where you could probably put a computer, but you're using these for your screwdrivers.
Right.
And then up here, you used a volt ohm meter. Then.
Right, it's also a hard side.
And that would protect.
And it's got the volt meter in it, so it protects it.
And then the other thing about this I noticed was this, the way they designed this has a sternum strap, is what's called for backpacking. So do you carry it around with this mostly?
I haven't yet. I haven't carried it that far. I usually use these handles. Okay. But these straps are very well padded. Yeah. I think you could, depends on how heavy you load it down, but it's very well made and thought out.
So the other question I'd have about these, is this something you'd put in a tractor cab instead of a hard side toolbox?
Well, you can. That's kind of what I'm using this for right now, is just for a toolbox basically, but it's like a soft-sided, and it fits in anywhere.
Now, this sells for $149, a list for $149. You can, the prices vary. I've seen it from $150 down to $95, depending on where you can buy it. Is it worth that money to plop down $150 for something like this?
I would say so. I mean, the storage that it's got in such a small area,
and a soft situation.
And the soft, I like the soft part of it too, and it's endless what you can put in there. I mean, it's definitely worth that. And Milwaukee, well made. I mean, it's put together very well.
Well, for more information about the Ultimate Jobsite Backpack, you can go to milwaukeetool.com. Another product test team tool that we had evaluated by James Fred of Rochester, Indiana, and that was this ESAB Rebel EMP 215 IC. I know that's a mouthful. And you have to wonder, it's just a welder. It looks like another MIG welder. But the difference with this is this welder has the ability to go stick weld, MIG weld, flux core weld, and TIG weld. And I'm getting a lot of inquiries, especially on TIG welding, James, from farmers that are dealing with stainless steel, they're dealing with aluminum, and the ability of the TIG weld to handle maybe thinner sheet stock, sheet metal, and stuff like that. So the cool thing about this is you can MIG weld, you can flux core weld, you can stick weld, all in a matter of adjustment. But it's the TIG welding capability that you were most interested in. And you're doing more you were interested in that for more of the sheet metal work you were doing?
Well, for two things. The sheet metal that I work with a lot of sheet metal, especially on antique tractor restoration and stuff, as well as for the stain. I want to be able to do weld stainless, because we got the dairy farm, and there's always stainless that needs welded. And if you get a stress crack in your stainless, and it's expensive to have the service call for the milking repair company, and so and most of the time it's not at a convenient time, so it's really handy when you can just do it yourself. This has the function of what they call 2T and 4T, and 4T is where you don't have to have a foot pedal like conventionally a TIG welder is used to having. I started on the 4T, being that I didn't have any experience one way or the other. I thought, well, I could probably get the hang of 4T, and I think I could have in some time, but boy, once I decided I need to try the foot pedal that you can get for this welder. And after doing with the foot pedal, I realized why everyone uses a foot pedal. I mean, it's just, you can control your amperage on the go. You adjust your timing and your amperage, and it'll ramp the amperage down when you, at the end of your weld. So that, because you always want to go out easy on a TIG weld. You don't want to just go from full amperage and then shut it down. You want it to go out easy, and that's what the point of the 4T is. It ramps down your voltage, but with the 2T, you just do it with your foot pedal.
The one thing ESAB too has with there is this digital control, and you know, it's they still has the dials, but the dialing and everything's off of this. Did you find this easier to use than what you were used to before with the MIG welder?
Actually, obviously you got to get used to the menus, but the menus are very simple to operate, and some of the user manual is also on there. So, you know, that's another thing. You know, sometimes when you don't have a paper one in front of you, it's a little bit of a learning curve. But yeah, for Smart MIG, all you got to do is dial in your thickness. You know, if you're on Smart MIG, it has picture, and it shows your thickness, and you can just keep rotating the dial and keep going thicker and thicker, and you just set it there, and it adjusts all your settings according to that. It comes with, the cord is set up for 220, the big welder plug, and then it's got an adapter cord, short adapter cord that puts it down to 110. So I mean, you just, if you need one, so if you just need 110, you just put that in. If you want the 220, you just pull it off, unhook it, and you go directly to your outlet. Well, for more information about the ESAB welder, you can go to the website at ESAB.com. I'll see you again on another Product Test Team Report.
I'm at that age where I actually have my oldest leaving the house now. He's going to school. Now, my wife's and I generation, it was pounded in our heads that when you went off to school, you had to get a bachelor's degree. That was your level of success. If you didn't have a bachelor's degree, then you weren't going to have enough money to raise a family or buy the boat or all that good stuff. So we did. We both went off to school. I got my bachelor's in agricultural economics. My wife got her bachelor's in zoology, both from Southern Illinois University. Go Salukis. I can't say either one of us are using it, but that's a story for a different day. So when my oldest came to us and said he wanted to go to a trade school, I was really taken back. I mean, I will admit that I was automatically upset because I felt like he was selling himself short. He's a smart kid. I mean, he got good grades. And now he's going to a trade school? Because I always thought that trade schools were the schools that you went to when you couldn't get into a university. Just when I was about to kind of get upset at him and shake him and tell him how he's wrong, I felt that ever so reassuring hand on my leg from my wife, meaning that, hey, we need to relax and not talk right now, like she's done so many times. And she was right. So as my wife and I talked, we decided we were going to look into this heavily because my son had. He'd done exactly what we wanted him to do. He'd done a ton of research on it, and he felt this was the best way that he could do what he loves and still have a comfortable life to raise a family. But I was upset. I was upset that he wasn't going to reach his full potential. I felt like he was going to put a ceiling on himself. It's hard to raise a family. You need to make money. And here he was going to a trade school, and in my mind, that wasn't going to be enough to provide. But looking into this, we didn't necessarily look at studies or look at graphs. We talked to people. We talked to people that had kids graduate college both with a bachelor's degree, a PhD, some that went to trade schools. And what we found out that maybe my son was right. Maybe his research was actually what he said it was. And I think that's why I was upset the most, is because when he was describing why he wanted to go to trade school, I had a hard time arguing with that, because he was saying a lot of things that made sense. First of all, it's what he loved. Second of all, it's a trade that you have to get educated for. And third, there was a good living behind it. Turns out, being a mechanic, you can make a whole lot of money, a lot more than getting like a bachelor's degree in basket weaving. So he was making some very, very good points. Now, being a dad, the last thing you want to do is admit that you're wrong to your son. So I didn't admit that I was wrong, and I'm not going to admit. But I will say, William, I'm very proud of you. You're going out to UNOH and you're learning a valuable trade. And the family misses you. I miss you. I especially miss you because I realized that you neglected to grease the top of the grain leg before you left for college. So what's your opinion? Is there advantage to a trade school over a bachelor's or vice versa? I'd love to know. Shoot me an email at sharkfarmer.com. And for more videos like this, go to agriculture.com/TV.
Next up, join me at sale to see what late model high horsepower Deeres are selling for after these brief messages. Are you looking for a solid tractor to speed you through planting chores this spring? Then this Deere 8320R would work for you. This tractor is a 2015 model that has just over 1,600 hours, and it's ready to hit the field for planting, offering 5 hydraulic outlets, power beyond hydraulics, and 380/50 spread duals. But this could also make a great tillage tractor as well, thanks to being equipped with suspended front axle, which smooths out the ride across rough fields while keeping the front wheels in firm contact with the soil. Best yet, this tractor comes equipped with Deere's IVT seamless shifting transmission. But commodity prices are in a slump and new tractor sales are stalled. How will those factors affect the bidding on today's consignment auction being held by Weeman Auction? To get a feel for the marketplace, I'm going to go talk to an expert at Weeman Auction before this tractor sells. We're looking at the John Deere 8320R, talking with Kevin Weeman at Weeman Auction, and that tractor's loaded.
It's got everything on it.
You thought that tractor's going to probably bring one of the higher prices at today's sale.
Absolutely.
Why?
Just because the marketplace has dictated that those tractors are in high demand and they cost more from new, so of course the retail or the sale price at auction is going to be more.
Commodity prices though, because of the trade wars, got everybody a little depressed.
Yep, we've seen it all across the board, from our land prices to commodity prices to everything. But I have talked to a lot of producers in the last few months, and they've said despite all that, they're staying positive, and some of them even stayed profitable through all this.
So if I'm looking for the background on that tractor, I'd have to guess that's a dealer placed tractor?
Yes, it was owned by a dealer, brought in here to be sold. We would try to get you the previous owner if the dealer would release it.
So, but if even I wanted the background because of local prices here and the influence in that, call you about that?
Well, we try to stay up with the markets for our local area. And it is different if you're looking at a Midwestern tractor versus one that was brought up from the deep south or California or Texas or something like that. I think the pedigrees on these late model equipment is what helps sells it.
So can that happen, that guys trying to sell off stuff will bring it up from the south to the Midwest to sell it?
Oh, absolutely. Maybe not so much the owner, or the owner traded it to a dealer and that dealer network moved it up to get it out of the area, to move it around to get some fresh inventory somewhere else.
But the thing with auction houses like Weeman, you guys have made it a rule, you're transparent.
Yes, we try. What our goal is we want to continue this, and we want our customers to come back to us. We want our customers to say, I got a good deal at Weeman's, they told me the way it was, and they tell their neighbors, and that's the way we've been in business all these years.
And you've been in business for a bit?
Since 1949.
No kidding. This is your grandfather's?
My grandfather started it.
And your dad and your uncle are in this business, and now it's you, your brother?
And two of my cousins.
Two of your cousins.
And this last summer, my nephew and my son went to auction school. So if they decide to come in, we might have a fourth generation, maybe.
Oh, that'll be wonderful. And you've built up a great business. You've got a great auction yard here too as well. It's clean, it's flat as a pancake, as only South Dakota could do. But also it's got a good rock base. This can be a fun auction to go to.
I'm glad you're here.
Well, let's go watch the 8320R sell.
And 180, no 85, but I'm on 180 times that are popping, but I'm on 185, 185, and 180, no 85, but I'm on 185, now 90, 185, 190, and 185, and 90, but I'm on a big horsepower right there, 8320, 320 horsepower. I got 185, 190, and 185, and then give me 187.5. I'll let you in the back door. 187.5, and 185, and the 7.5, but I'm on 185, no 187.5, and 185, no 187.5, but I'm on 187.5, and 185, and the 7.5, but I'm on 187.5, 187.5, give me 186, and 185, and the 6 pound, but I'm on $186,000, 186, 186, and 9. Walk on, guys. It takes a little bit more money here. Just tough to sell the big horsepower for that kind of money.
The bidding stalled on our 8320R, and it didn't bring a reserve price. To give you an idea what similar tractors are worth, I went to machinefinder.com where I found 90 2015 models sitting on dealers' lots. Their prices range from $164,000 up to $301,000. Narrowing my search to tractors with between 1,300 up to 1,800 hours, I uncovered 7 tractors available with prices ranging from $198,000 up to $255,000. By the way, to help you put solid values to equipment, we are now offering the opportunity to get free appraisals from the authority on equipment prices from Iron Solutions. Used by banks, manufacturers, and dealers from across North America, Iron Solutions gathers actual dealer sales, auction prices, and wholesale transactions on equipment built in the past 20 years. You know, Iron Solutions is the place dealers go to set trade-in offers or sale prices. Now, to get your 2 free appraisals each month, go to agriculture.com/whatsitworth. For more information about Weeman Auctions, you can go to their website at weemanauction.com. I'll see you next week on another Steel Deals Report. After these brief messages, we feature a great farmer service truck, so please stay tuned.
Hi, I'm Derek Antofer from Dedham, Iowa. This is my service truck and trailer. The toolbox pivot I made a couple years ago just to make getting tools around the farm easier and better wherever I go. I see a lot of people, you throw them in your bed of your truck and they can flop around and they're not secured. I wanted just a better way to get them in and out and hold them down. So I built a heavy duty hinge at a thick wall pipe, and then I built a latch behind it, so as you close it, it automatically latches and can't go nowhere. The most favorite thing about the toolbox is everything's right there that I could almost possibly need, and I don't need to go back and forth to the shop, machine sheds to get all my parts and tools. And between this and my silver toolbox, I got a lot of parts and tools I could ever need. In essence, I think I probably got around $100 to $200 wrapped up in steel. A lot of time fabricating and engineering, trying to make everything fit properly. This is my fuel trailer. I got 3-4 years ago, and when I bought it, the box was empty. It was just a box in essence, nothing in it, and I needed a way to organize and work in this fuel trailer. I got on the drawing board and made a workbench and organizer. Just a way to store oil and my tow rope and different things. Instead of putting it on a pile, it was a little better organized. Right here I got a spot for my wrench roll, metric wrenches. And then recently I put this vise on it. So if you are in the field and need to clamp something down, you do got a way to hold on to it. When I get to harvest and moving from field to field, my truck with my toolbox and all my tools and trailer are all in one. So if I do need to make any repairs, a lot of my tools are in my hinging toolbox. So between the two, I got everything I need and can want. For more about this idea and other farmer inventions, go to agriculture.com/TV.
Please join Natalina, Lori, and me next week for another outstanding show. In the meantime, be sure to visit the show's website at agriculture.com/TV to get more information on this show and to view past episodes. See you next week on Successful Farming. Hi, I'm Dave Mowitz. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, hit subscribe right here if you haven't already, and click that little bell right here to be notified when we post a new video. And click here to see more great episodes from Successful Farming Television.